Hey, it's Scott Fox from ClickMillionaires.com. Let's talk about how to build a friendly online community. Membership sites are a great way to build recurring income, and I'd like to help you build one if you're interested. So let's talk about how not just to build a community, but how to build a friendly community that can grow itself. It's easy to build a message board or a forum that fills itself up with spammers and trolls. Anybody can do that. You can get the software just about for free these days and turn it on. And who's going to show up? Bad guys and people you don't want to hang out with. So the key here is to think more about how to host a party that you yourself would like to attend. And that way you can attract other people with similar interests. So here's 4 principles that I use to help keep my ClickMillionaires.com community one of the friendliest on the web. All right, so first let's talk about your marketing approach. Well, who are you marketing to? If you open a free community that is advertised all over the web, well, pretty much anybody's going to show up. Why? Because anybody can. And it's probably going to attract the lowest common denominator of participant, which means probably not so friendly and probably not so valuable. On the other hand, if you were to do very targeted marketing, perhaps with a pay-per-click campaign targeted toward a specific industry or a specific set of interests, well, you might get a very narrowly targeted group of people, which is probably good. It doesn't mean they'll all be friendly, but at least they'll have common interests. And it's those common interests that are the glue that binds a community together. Next, I would think about what kind of entry approval process you have. For example, if you don't have any approval process, well, anybody can join, and anybody will, including bots and automated programs and outsourced spammers from all over the world who don't necessarily speak your language, etc., etc. It can be messy. So you want to have 3 levels of approval process. This is what I would think about. The first is to have some sort of CAPTCHA program. Those little squiggly letters that you try to type in and that make sure that you're a human? Well, that can keep out a lot of the bots and spammers. So I'd start with a CAPTCHA. Second, you can moderate or approve all new members. So I would ask some questions as part of your entry process that make it an opportunity for a human to let you know what they're interested, why they're joining, where they're from, or whatever's important to your community. You can pretty quickly tell who's serious and who's not by the kinds of responses that you get. This is another level to help keep out the bad actors. And then third, the easiest and perhaps best way from a business point of view is to make them pay. A paid membership community will certainly keep out the spammers and trolls who aren't really dedicated because it costs them money to be there. So if you have a community that's strong enough to attract members into paying, well, that really narrows down your target market and helps attract people that are truly interested in participating. So once you've got all that in place and you've got real people applying, I'd reinforce those steps by introducing a bit more reality to the equation. This means things like asking people to use their real names, asking them to use photographs, maybe requiring their real addresses when they sign up. That again is going to happen anyway when you use a credit card, but those sorts of activities that force people to use real identities that link to their real world personalities really introduces a concept of accountability that will help people encourage them to behave. So then once you have that and you've got people coming into your forum, to make them act friendly is key, because all the things we've talked about so far can help you keep out people that are random or spammers or bots. But even if you get a bunch of people with common interests, doesn't mean that they're going to be nice to each other. So how do you make them form a friendly community, a membership community that people want to participate in and that feel open about sharing, so that they can actually build a community and demonstrate that common involvement to build common bonds that really create the relationships that lead to further growth? Well, this is where you get into my next 2 principles: moderation, also known as enforcement, and then interaction. So moderation really means you got to be ready to enforce a code of conduct. So right up front, I would post the terms of service, something about the behaviors that you expect of people, what's in bounds and what's out of bound, and enforce a healthy respect for being civil. People have to be nice to each other. That's one of the reasons ClickMillionaires.com is really nice, because I require it. Anybody that's not nice gets asked to leave. Being nice is a critical aspect of online communication, because you don't have a lot of the verbal and visual cues that you have in the real world. You can see me right now and you can hear my voice and you can tell what I'm thinking as much by how I'm saying it as what I'm saying. Online, when you're dealing especially with text-based forums, you need to enforce people to be nice in writing. That their writing has to be nice, because it's hard to pick up sarcasm or senses of humor which may differ across countries or cultural boundaries and things like that. Asking for nice behavior is critical, and I would make a big point of it in your code of conduct. Then you also need to be ready to enforce misbehavior. Against misbehavior by usually establish a 3 strikes policy. You can warn people a couple times, remind them of the code of conduct, and if they don't shape up, they're out of there. Trolls get bounced from my communities as soon as we're clear that they're acting as trolls and that they weren't just being misunderstood, or if they apologize and agree to change their behavior. Offering an easy way for other members to complain to you privately is also important, so that they don't say something publicly and then get ganged up on by the troll and his or her friends. A private complaint line is important. Encouraging this sort of warm dialogue with people, both the people who are acting nicely and the people who aren't, and treating them as human beings is critical. And those that fail the three strikes policy, well, you've got to be ready to make some enemies and bounce them if necessary. Now, if you do the first couple of steps about moderating and recruiting the right sort of people, that isn't so hard. As we've seen on clickmillionaires.com, most of the participants are readers of my book, so they're pretty pre-screened already for interest in just the sort of topics that we're talking about right now. How to build online businesses, how to do things cost effectively, how to make money on the side from your current job. These folks are adults with common interests and a professional ethic where they're looking to interact and have some fun and be friendly about it. That sort of recruiting is the key foundation. And then once you've got these folks in and acting nicely, well, you've got to encourage that interaction. I usually talk in terms of incentive systems. What can you do to reward people that are nice? You can offer, prizes, free ebooks or contests or things like that to reward the best actors. At clickmillionaires.com, for example, we have a featured members award every month. And those people, multiple people, three at least every month, win a free month of membership. So they make a little money and they're encouraged to keep contributing. Now that sounds Machiavellian, but actually it's fun for everybody because the people that are the friendliest, well, their friends get to vote on them. They get a free month of membership. It makes them feel good. It's a virtuous cycle. And that's what you're really after here. You want to offer activities that encourage people to be nice. And what happens? Well, then they're nice. And what happens? The other people see them being nice. And what do? Well, they're nice back. That's how it works. So it's critical to have a list of activities that you want to have for people to do. For example, again, when you join clickmillionaires.com or some of the other communities that I've run or have run in the past, including major ones for big corporations or celebrities, as well as smaller ones that I don't talk about much here, but we always welcome people in a personal way. I do it myself at clickmillionaires.com. I personally write them a note every time. It's not boilerplate. I actually read what they've written in their profiles and say hello and let them know both that I care, that I'm a nice guy, but also that I'm watching. And that's critical, that you or the moderating team that you have for your community rewards people, encourages interaction, and that you're paying attention and recognizing their contributions from the start. We also offer right away emails and follow-up PDFs that suggest things that they could do right from the start that are interesting and fun to participate in. Because if there's nothing to do, people aren't going to do anything. And then you have a community full of lurkers, which can be interesting, but isn't going to generate a lot of page views or a lot of money for you or much growth. What you want to do is create activities that encourage people to interact so that they talk to each other and the nicest people rise to the top. That's the sort of activity that I encourage for you, just as I've done at clickmillionaires.com. And if that's helpful, I hope it is. I'd love to hear your feedback. What are your suggestions about communities that you've participated in, either online or offline? Because after all, communities online and these membership sites that we're talking about as businesses, well, they're really just replicating relationships that we have in the real world. So things that you see working in the real world, well, they can apply online too. And if you're new to clickmillionaires.com, of course, come on and add your 2 cents about this. I'd love to hear what you think of the membership process that you've recently joined. And if you haven't joined yet, well, come on over to clickmillionaires.com and check it out. So to some, I would recommend to you membership sites as a great business strategy for the new millennium. And if you're going to do it, think of it like a party. You're the host of a party. What kind of parties do you like to attend? Well, the ones where friendly people congregate and the friendliness is rewarded and rises to the top, generated and hosted by a friendly person who sponsored the party. And that could be and should be you. So if you're a clickmillionaires.com member, this week in other updates, we've got a new forum section just about online communities and membership sites that I encourage you to check out. Love to hear your feedback and your suggestions on this topic, as well as all the related ones that are popping up there already from our membership from all over the world. There's a new PDF for you in the file cabinet section, a free download of my new website startup tips. This is a PDF special report free for you members that details the steps that I personally take every time I set up a new website. It can be hard to remember all those little configuration tweaks, and here they all are, all in one easy to download PDF just for you. There's also a great sale going on with Site Build It, a buy one, get one free of my #1 recommendation for website building. So check that out in the Site Build It section, or the URL is trysitebuildit.com, trysitebuildit.com, and you can get a great deal there through my affiliate link. Lastly, we've got our membership scavenger hunt still going on, so meet some of your fellow members in the forum and you could win another prize. And speaking of prizes, our hidden video winner this week is Scott from Willis, Texas. So Scott C. from Willis, Texas. Send me an email, Scott, and we'll send you a free download of any of the products that you'd like from the Scott Fox shop. So thanks for watching. I'm Scott Fox from ClickMillionaires.com. I hope you have a great week, and I'll be seeing you again here real soon on the membership community that I love and where I spend my time every day, ClickMillionaires.com. See you soon.